Welcome to Evolve Quest. My name is Katrin. I'm a career coach helping you to create a fulfilling career and life. So, if you're interested in hearing more tips and ideas on designing a career you love, subscribe to my channel. It's easy. In this video, I wanted to talk to you about a topic of approaching very senior people in your organization or outside in order to progress in your career. So either to get a promotion or get noticed by potential employers of your choice. Even if you're a CEO, you may have a level of interesting feelings when you are approaching potential investors into your business. Or if you're early in your career, that could be your managers, the bosses of your bosses, the CEO of your company, or senior people outside of your organization. The reason I wanted this topic came to mind is actually one of my lovely clients who is getting a lot of visibility in his company right now, that is 3 to 4 levels above his title. He actually recently asked me for, he mentioned, hey, like, I know you talk to very senior people all of the time in your coaching practice and previously in your career as an executive search consultant. What do you do? Like, what helps you to keep a level of presence when you are in front of those people? And I thought that was actually an excellent question and something that I kind of forgot. But when, I forgot like what helps me to do that. So it was actually interesting to think through it a bit more consciously. In fact, when I just started my career in recruitment, the company I worked for, they, for whatever reason, felt very comfortable letting me go on business trips by myself, meeting very senior people in the region that I was covering. So for example, I was 20 years old and my boss joined me on the first business trip. And then he said, you'll be fine by yourself. I didn't think that, but there you go. And so I remember sitting, in these swanky bank offices in front of CEOs of large investment banks like Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank, and also with managing partners of large investment funds. And I was even looking, younger than my age at the time. I must have been looking 16, and those people must be a little bit confused about why did that company send this teenager to talk business to them. So I kind of had to learn on the go how to feel okay in those, scenarios. But in the end, obviously, because I knew the market well and I had something of value to offer them in terms of the people I knew in the market, I was taken seriously. But obviously, the first impression was a little bit odd. So I have to say I was not comfortable doing that at the start. And so this is, one of the things that I think can help you as well to understand that you should feel free to approach very esteemed people in your organization or outside of your company for potential jobs. If you understand that there will always be a level of fear or anxiety present when you're reaching out to them, when you're typing up that email. You may even read it 3 times and still like have a typo in there because your brain is just not working properly when you're in that state of fear. Or when you're talking to them, for example, when you're going to interviews with decision makers in those companies, how do you make sure that you can really use the full capacity of your brain so that you can present yourself as the intelligent and experienced person that you are? Because I notice some people just kind of, the brain power just kind of collapses to this range, out of here when they experience that fear or anxiety. So first thing to know is that it will probably always be there. It's not something that you can very quickly overcome, but it will be there stronger and at the beginning. So when you reach out to the first CEO you want to work for, or the second, or whatever, but eventually the more you put yourself into those stressful situations, the faster this fear and this anxiety will subside, and you will be able to present yourself and just think clearly and listen to what they have to say and respond to it in a lot more effective way, the more you just go ahead and do that in spite of the fear that you have. And one of the useful perspectives, it actually comes from one of the most popular TED Talks. yeah, I forget the name of it at the moment, where the lady explains that it's not so much, anxiety will be there no matter what, a level of anxiety, right? A level of fear. The difference between people being able to do things in spite of fear versus people who don't take action because of it is their ability to see it as excitement. And to me, I found this to be totally true. Because, for example, before like large webinars that I run every now and then, when I have 100, 200 people online, watching me talk about stuff and asking curveball questions, I noticed that, even if I might be tired, I'm totally switched on in that moment. Like there is no tiredness. And I noticed there's a lot of energy in my body. If I see it as anxiety and try to push it down, it actually acts against me and it kind of just goes too much in my head and I, forget what I say. But when I see it as excitement, I actually welcome it. And I was like, oh wow, there's a lot of energy in the system. It's really helping me to stay focused and to really care to do a good job, to really care to the detail. So next time you see yourself, you put yourself in a relatively stressful situations. I mean, a lot of the company meetings may have that degree of stress, speaking up in your Monday meetings or going for your next interview. So even before that happens, when you're thinking about it and starting to feel the degree of fear, just see it as a welcome excitement that helps you to focus, help you to be present, and helps you to do a really good job there. So just changing your perspective on anxiety already creates a huge shift in getting doing scarier things, and eventually that will eventually help you to get access to the kind of opportunities that you want in your career and help you progress. The second thing that I remember really helped me even when I was 20-year-old to do well in those meetings with various people with a lot more experience than I had was to, I don't know, I always felt this kind of shared humanity in everyone I've met. So I always managed to make friends with homeless people on the street, CEOs of investment banks and, everyone in between. So I've felt that, so far as you see everyone as someone who's participating in the same shared experience of humanity, it is guaranteed that they will also have a degree of fear or anxiety, but maybe towards a different kind of situations. If you're fearing facing them and speaking in front of them, they are fearing speaking in front of their bosses or in front of investors into their companies. I guarantee you there'll be someone in their circle who would make them sweat when they talk to them. So, not idealizing people who are well known, who are very senior is actually what really helps you to connect. And the other thing to realize is that people who are senior in their career, they were where you are today, like many years ago. So they know the kind of fears, the kind of complications that you're going through, and the kind of courageous actions that you have to take all the time. They've been there, they've done that, they've learned their lessons. So most of the time I've noticed that they are actually really willing to help. And I feel the same when I have coaches who are just starting out reach out to me. I get on the phone with them and I just can't stop talking. I want to share so much because I have so much compassion when they're at, because I've been there 5 years ago when I was just starting my coaching practice. So to summarize, see your anxiety or fear as a friend and as excitement. Secondly, realize that we are all going through the same shared human experience with the same fears and hopes. And thirdly, understand that very senior people were in the same position where you are many years ago, and the chances are they might be willing to help you out. So tell me in the comments below if you really take these ideas on board. Who would you reach out to? What kind of people would you reach out to this week? I'd love to hear from you. If you're interested in getting one-on-one or group coaching with me, you can reach out to me. You can book a discovery call using my website, evolvequest.coach. And have a great week doing courageous things, meeting very senior people, and I'll see you next time.